Morning, this is Nikki. I'm here to share messages that I get from Spirit for all of us who are all on this journey to love and to reunite with our divine vibrational matches in this lifetime. And today I am going to choose a RUMI oracle just to say what guidance do we need for those of us who are resonating with this twin flame soul to soul energy. So for those of us who have woken up to our twin and are experiencing all of the synchronicities, all of the kind of sense of knowing what they're thinking, when they're thinking about you, seeing messages in songs, all of this telepathic and kind of wonderful phenomena that happen with these connections. And they are here to bring kind of light to the world and light to your life. And so it is every single day, it is like a constant kind of our task is to remember that these connections are here to help us, even though sometimes in the 3D it may not feel that way, because in this physical reality we are, for the most part, a lot of us aren't actually together in the physical. So this is the challenge, that we bring the physical into aligned with the spiritual, right? So we kind of create that sort of mesh, and together we're creating this all over the world, so to uplift the planet. So with that, I'm just going to ask for guidance from RUMI to say, okay, what is the guidance that we need for this twin flame collective energy? So here we go. This is the deck, and I've just been shuffling and shuffling. So the guidance that we need for the twin flame energy is, look at this, number 12. I don't think I've ever had this. Number 12, which is divine discontent. Interesting. So let's have a look. Number 12 is also 1 and 2 is 3. 3 is the third energy, the Trinity, because there is, basically there is you, your twin, and love, right? You, your twin's energy, and essentially the love energy. So here we go. 12. So we are this. So it's quite a long passage, but I think it's going to be great guidance to help us, right? So winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing, and sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. I know your heart. I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest night when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet, that there is a piece of the puzzle missing. Even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours, there is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven, vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please, please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing, for the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. There is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety, that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of an awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for this caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. Over time, that longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness, needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, a pounding of fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. Where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet I am here, still waiting. I can stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does the yearning, so much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine, or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods, such as your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have the meagre meal wrested from our hand, so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then something will be done by heaven. So make your relationship sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it. Bear witness to it. Do not chastise. Instead, be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed, as though only sadness and plight could stir the heart of the divine beloved into descent of grace, saving you from a life far too bland for your exquisite Epicurean palate. Just don't misinterpret the pain and think that something really is wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. Understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this. Dear blazing angel, you are just waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart, you are realizing a truth. A part of you, deeper and wider, vaster and more instinctive, truthful and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. This is right. This is sensible. This is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart that says, there is something more than this inadequacy, this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones that must end now. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets in an animation upon my computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty, by the real thing, that I become stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendor that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind dissembled and my heart ignited by the presence of my beloved. I want to become a fumbling, ecstatic wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity, so do not resist it. Instead, witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and is now found to be plated and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great, holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you with its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me on towards something of far more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it is anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forests for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench, then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is left behind, once and for all grabbing, like hungry school children, for the divine bread with sweet, fresh scent filling the air. Well, so that's teaching us to go out in nature and appreciate the actual nature that we have around us, not staring at the computer screen, basically. So the sacred honoring ritual is this. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly and say the following aloud. RUMI, who loves me unconditionally, guide me now. I acknowledge the gratitude in my heart, genuine and fierce. And I acknowledge the hunger for the divine unfolding in my belly, the urging forwards towards some unknown, indescribable sacred I can't say that. Guide me to the holy table where the true feast awaits. I am no longer satisfied by stale crumbs or the remnants of another's feast. I want to feast with the Holy One, the Great One, to know directly and for myself that I am divine. With your mercy, grace, and wisdom, guide me there, dearest brother of my soul. I cast my soul into your care and follow my nose. I follow my nose towards the sweetest scent of the holy feast. Rest or stand up and dance your prayer. Just be with your body and how it wants to be, to rest or to move now. Whatever you choose, say with your breath and with what feels truthful. And say this aloud. I release that which is not worthy for my soul to feast upon. I do not decide this for myself from a place of distrust or judgment. I surrender my attachment and I trust in the sacred workings of life to present to me what is needed. I surrender. I surrender in sacred trust. I surrender. May my life be governed by love for the greatest good and in holy service to love now. So be it. So be it. Okay, so we are being told to surrender, to surrender, to surrender, to go out, listen, breathe in nature, to understand that in those days when it feels like our heart is, the heart muscle is a muscle. It needs to break, it needs to grow stronger. So each time you feel that pain in the heart, which is a very real thing, the heart chakra is, I feel it today, the heart chakra sort of like becomes much more, you become much more aware of the heart chakra, right, during these connections, because the heart chakra is opening and opening and opening, and that becomes quite a physical experience. So I'm going to read letter 63 from Divine Love Letter Books, because that is the one that page was on. So, you are like a bell ringing in my heart, reminding me of how the pang of my heart is missing you and wanting you to be back with me. There you go, crazy. I believe in you. I believe in us. I believe in our love, and I know that our love will see us back together. We are so strong. You have no idea how powerful our love is and what we can achieve when we truly come together in our physical bodies. I cannot wait for the day to come when we can touch each other again, feel each other and caress each other. I pine for that day. No way, and it's said about the pine trees in the honouring. I mean, crazy. I pine for that day, for the time that we wake up with each other wrapped in our arms. I dream of our day coming soon. Trust that love is the only truth, that our hearts will guide us home. Trust that we are each other's home. We live in each other's hearts. We are love. So that's the whole point about the twin. You meet and you create this new vibration together, which shakes and wakes you up, because it creates all of these, crazy things, synchronicities, telepathy, all of these things that happen that are seemingly so, so basically so divine, really, because it's like, what? There is more meaning. There is meaning to life. There is something else. There is like a bigger source of, who knows, something out there. And that's the whole point of these connections, to be able to reach out to that divine connection and trust wherever it takes us. So I really hope that helps. If you would like to have a healing, reading, channeling, or to get into my books, please do. All details are in the link. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, but in the meantime, I hope you stay well, stay bright, and stay switched on to the light. See ya. Take care. Bye.